So before I get into this review, I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna be talking about the character of Joyce Mayer because I know people have a lot of thoughts on her. This is not the point of this review. I'm actually here to review the context, not the person. So this was given to me on my birthday, because is it the same year? No, I think it's a month before. I got baptized, and obviously this is from my auntie. My auntie heard my testimony, but anyway, she gave me this and said this helped her cousin. So I thought, you know what, why not? I know at that time then I knew the reputation that Joyce Mayer had, but then I thought if it helps, it helps. So it does actually help. So it's like a self help book, like a normal self help book, but instead it uses like biblical context, if that makes any sense. So she always refers back to scripture. Um, what she likes to do as well, when she puts the scripture down, she likes to put in brackets like what each thing means, which is slightly annoying. Sometimes I actually go back on the My Bible app just to look at it fully. But yeah, that's only a slight annoyance. But I found this really helpful. It just goes into how this one's a really good one if you go through spiritual warfare. It's a pretty good one. It's like I used to do with my self help things about mental health. If you need to go to a doctor, go to a doctor. Can I just say, if you are at church who is against doctors, you need to find another church because yeah. Anyway, so as I said, these can only go so far. Some people do generally need like medical kind of um what's it but anyway, just wanted to point that out. So as I said, I found that really helpful. It kind of goes into the lies that the enemy feeds you and stuff, and then I remember reading, I was like, oh, okay, so that was the thought of the enemy, not my own thoughts, not even my own thoughts, it literally from the enemy. So I found that pretty useful. I will say there's one thing she mentioned which did stick out, like as I read them. It was near the end of the book where she claimed that God told her the reason why women cry in the bathroom is because they have a big mirror and they can look in the mirror and look how pitiful they look. That doesn't sound like God. Like it doesn't, when it comes to kind of hearing God's voice and stuff, always what gets drilled in is, does it match God's character? And that doesn't match God's character. So do bear that in mind. As I said, when reading books like this anyway, use your discernment when it comes to reading stuff like this. But other than that little thing that kind of has me questioning it, it is decent. Like it does actually help. Like it does actually help. Just obviously when reading it, if things feel a little bit, what's it? Just yeah, you get on what I mean. Just use your just use the limit skills. But I gave this a 5 out of 5 just because it does generally help. The things in there do generally help. Just maybe put question marks on things where she says God told her this and that. Just remember, if it doesn't match God's character or the fruit of the Spirit, it probably wasn't from God. But other than that, I actually really found this really helpful. So I do actually recommend that you give this a go specifically if you're going through spiritual warfare or you struggle with like anxiety, depression, that kind of thing, or kind of other kind of mental like things. But as I said, sometimes medical attention is actually needed. But other than that, this is actually really, this found this book really helpful.